Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. D. Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity. Today we are going to discuss about typecasting in C programming. What is typecasting? Converting one data type to another data form is known as typecasting. Typecasting has three different types, that is implicit typecasting and explicit typecasting are the two major parts of typecasting. The typecasting is a process of converting a variable from one data type to another. Implicit typecasting occurs automatically when converting smaller data type to larger one. And explicit typecasting requires the programmer to specify the type of the data has to be converted from which data type. Here are the sample how we are going to convert from one data type to another in an expression. Implicit type conversion. C permits mixing of constants and variables of a different types in an expression. C automatically converts any intermediate values to the proper type so that the expression can be evaluated without losing any significance. This is known as implicit type conversion. Say for an example, if I want to convert an character to integer or from integer to character, this can be done without specifying how the programmer has to convert from one data type to another. The compiler automatically converts one basic data type to another, that is called implicit type conversion. During the evaluation, it adheres to very strict rules of type conversion. If the operands are of different types, the lower type is automatically converted to higher type before the operation proceeds. The result is of the higher type. Whereas the higher data type was converted to lower, it automatically removes the excess values. Say for an example, if a floating point value is going to be converted as a decimal, if the value is 4.2, when it gets round off to integer, the resultant will be only 4. The 0.2 value will be negligible and it will be omitted during the type conversion process which taken by the implicit, that is by the compiler. The rules while evaluating the expression, all short and char are automatically converted to integer. Then if one of the operand is long double, the other will be converted also to be a long double because the higher value will be converted without losing any its significance. The type conversion in expression, if one of the operand is double and every operands whatever it is the data type is will be converted to double and the resultant will be stored in a double data type. If one of the operand is float, automatically the integer will be converted to the floating point. If the one of the operand is unsigned long integer, all the signed long integer or integer will be converted to the unsigned long integer. The type conversion in an expression can be in the higher value because of to avoid the significance omission. Say for an example, if it is a minute value when we have a long double or float which helps to have a minute part of a decimal value, when it get converted with a shorter term of integer or a short integer, automatically the decimal value will be omitted. So avoiding of all the conversion from the higher end to lower end is a good practice in C programming. The next is the conversion hierarchy. The shortest integer will be converted to integer and the integer will be converted as an unsigned and a long integer and the unsigned long integer float double and long double. This was a hierarchy. Why this following of hierarchy is necessary in C programming is when we are converting from the shorter level to the higher level, the significance will not be disturbed. When we are converting from the higher level to the shorter level, that is lower level, automatically the significance of the value will be reduced. To avoid such kind of a reduction or the efficiency, the conversion hierarchy helps in C programming. The next is conversion hierarchy, conversion of explicit, that is by the programmer. The process of local conversion of the variable is known as explicit type conversion or casting the value. The general form of casting is the type name, and expression. Where type name is one of the standard C data type, the expression may be converted from constant, variable, or from any of the data type which is already specified in the C programming can be converted into the specified data type. This was an sample program how we get converted. Here the integer value a is given as 3 and f is also declared as an integer. The floating point b is given as 10.6 and e is also be the floating point variable. When I divide e is equal to b slash a, that is 10.6 is divided by 3, definitely will get a floating point value and e is decided as a float. But whereas f is decided as declared as an integer, when I divide b by a, automatically the floating point value will be converted to integer and the decimal value will be truncated. To avoid such kind of a practice, it is a good mannerism to adapt the lower version to be converted as an higher version. I hope you understand. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.